Okay, all right. Judie McCoy. um, Senior National Sales Director Emeritus. I think it's Emeritus Senior National Sales Director. Anyway, she became a consultant in 1976, a director in 1978, just 2 years later. Number 4 in the nation in personal recruiting in 1980. She was a director for 14 years. This just blows my mind. 14 times in the circles of excellence or above, with 7 of those years with production over 1,100,000. She broke 2 company records, production in 1 month of over 200,000, and production in 1 year of 1.8 million. That just blows my mind.
Okay, honey, hold on until I can speak.
It's okay. Judy, if you just want to mute till you're figuring that out.
You know what? I'm just not going to say anything because
Okay.
I don't know how to do any of this.
Okay.
We're going to go without video.
We're going to go without video because we can't figure it out.
Okay.
But no, I'm cute.
You are cute. I'm going to finish your accolades before I let you have the floor.
Okay.
So after all those numbers, just think about that was in the late 70s and 80s. We didn't have Voluform back then. $200 skincare set. I mean, I think the basic was $18. I heard at one time. So number 1 in the nation 8 times. She debuted as a national sales director in 1991, as a senior NSD in the year 2000. She earned over $9 million in commissions. If you wonder if this business could replace your current income, the answer is yes. She led the number 3 national area in 2017. I was there for that. Traveled around the world training and motivating thousands of women to build successful businesses. I'm one of those. You guys are one of those. You're from that legacy. Earned the fabulous prizes, among which include 40 trips to world-class locations in Europe and Asia, and diamonds too numerous to count. She's featured in Forbes magazine. Forbes, can you stand it? The Secrets of Master Sellers, Glamour magazine, Business Investors Daily, and for various corporate publications and videos. She was married to Gary for 42 years with 2 children, Christy and Keith, and 5 grandchildren. And now she's married to Fred, who we just gave an applause to. Please join me in introducing former Miss Go Give, Emeritus Senior National Sales Director, the amazing Judie McCoy.
Oh, okay, you guys, thank you. Now, here's my point. You too can be a national. If I can't figure out this Zoom, but every Zoom is different. Have you found that?
Yes.
I know, it's crazy. This is just a glitch somewhere. So I'm so happy to be here. I wish you could see me. Well, maybe not. I'm wearing sunglasses because I have steroid drops in my eyes and an infection, and I really don't look cute. But I did put my makeup on from my cheeks down so I'd be cute for you. Okay. So anyway, how many of you are on?
There are 7 of us right now, and
Okay.
we are recording though. We are recording.
Okay. Do you guys know me? Do most of you know my story?
Let's see. Carrie and Rana have never been around a national.
Oh,
Ever.
good.
Because this year they were both going to go to career conference and it was canceled.
That's right. Okay. Well, you know, I was thinking today what I could share with you guys. And first of all, how much time? Give me a time.
I don't care. I don't care.
Well, I know how it is to plan. Okay, I'll take whatever I want. Okay, let's get our pajamas on. Get our jammies on right now. Okay.
How's 45 minutes?
Okay. So when I started, I was thinking about my life. It was in 1976. And I had 2 kids that were 5 and 7. And I was a stay-at-home mom. And I got married right after high school. And I was pregnant and married the love of my life, who I was married to for 42 years. And I know that's not the normal thing, but that was our story. And of course, everyone at that time thought that Oh, poor Judie, she's a loser. I mean, how do you dare, you know the story. But I wasn't a loser. I had goals and dreams. And as I was raising the kids, I was like the overachiever mom. I really was. And I mean, it was crazy. So one day I decided I needed to do something. So I went to real estate school and spent $300 that we didn't have. And the teacher of the course was such a bag. And she came up to me because I think she was intimidated. I was like 24. And she said, I don't think you should pursue this. You'll never be good enough to be successful in sales. So I quit. And then one day I was walking around the mall because I had a lot inside. I really did, but I didn't know what to do with it, right? So I'm walking around the mall and there's a Merle Norman cosmetic studio. And I thought, well, that might be kind of fun. So I walked in and the woman immediately offered me a job. And I said, what do you pay? And I said, I could not get a babysitter and leave my kids for dinner for what you would offer to pay me. Are you kidding me? So I went home. And then one day I got a call from my senior national, Donna Floberg, who had talked to my sister about who do you know, and she was in her last month of DIQ, miracles do happen, who do you know who you think could be good in Mary Kay? And she said, oh my gosh, my sister needs to get out of the house. So I drove myself to a meeting in a little clubhouse in a condo complex. And who was there but Sonia LeVay, now National Emeritus. And we're sitting there, and there were 15 women in the room. And I was the only guest. And they looked at me, I mean, they were on me like a cheap suit. I'm telling you, I'm the guest. You know how that is? What is she thinking? Is she happy? What is she gonna do? And then they're waiting for the big star of the show to come, who is driving in from Minneapolis. And all of a sudden, this huge, I mean, we're talking 76, you guys, it was a big flippin' pink Cadillac. Comes in, I look in the parking lot and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is tacky. And she jumps out of the car and she's wearing so much jewelry and beads all over. And I thought about my mom who said, you look at you always take something off. Don't wear more than so many pieces of jewelry, right? And they all start screaming. And it was National Sales Director Emeritus Nancy Tejan. And she walks in the room. This is hilarious. I'm the only guest. And she said, who's the guest? Well, I was the only one. So she took a chair and she sat in front of me. And she said, before she did any meeting, whatever, she said, let me tell you about Mary Kay. And I sat there like, you've got to be kidding. First of all, I was never going to peddle cosmetics. But then I thought about my dad, who is successful in his own right. And he retired as a self-made man at 55 years old. And, it was hey, I've got a lot of lipstick. I've got a lot of lipstick. Maybe I could sell this stuff. So I signed my agreement. Oh, Fred, you're on.
I know I'm on. You see me?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
that's my hot man.
So mute okay, the other one.
Hold on. All right, here we go.
And now you should.
Oh, now I'm on. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh.
Sorry about the glasses. Okay, wait. Now I gotta put my scarf back on.
Okay.
Because I was really gonna be cute to you guys.
I'm gonna leave the other meeting.
Okay. So anyway, and I
gave her my laptop.
oh yeah, you know what? I know. I love our marriage, Fred. We're crazy. So anyway, I wrote a check and had no money for it. And I went home and called my mother, and she covered my check. And my husband thought I was nuts. And he said, well, if $65, which was the cost, keeps you from crabbing about it, go ahead and try. So that was it. Now, that was the end of May 1976. And and we went on a fishing trip. Oh, get a load of this. Gary, my first flight as a married woman, he took me to Canada on a fishing trip. Now, you guys, look at me, okay? Am I a fisherwoman? No. So I had a snowmobile suit, and then it ended up being hot, and I got hives, and it was a nightmare. I got the biggest fish, the biggest northern of the whole trip, and no one believed me. But during that time, I had my consultant's guide because I was a brand new consultant. And I sat and read it, and I thought, I could never, no, there's no way I could do this. I will never say those words. Those scripts are weird. I think it's crazy. But I came home and I booked my first, we called them shows. And it was a dear friend and her husband. And you know what? I had fun. And I booked a couple more, and I thought this could be fun. But here's what I really thought. I heard the words of Mary Kay, that you can do anything you want to do if you're willing. I had no how. I had no ideas. I didn't know. My first party was so bad, you guys. They all looked, I gave them all the wrong foundation, and I just said, at your checkup facial, we're going to make it right. But here are two things that worked. Number one, I had belief. And number two, I had fun. Well, they wanted to be with me again. So we went back and I booked more parties, and I started my first recruit. Oh, you guys, she was so pitiful. Oh, she had on a mini skirt with fishnet stockings and feather earrings down to her shoulders. I mean, I believed she was going to be a national sales director, but you know what? It didn't happen. Is that okay? Anyway, but then I went to, I don't know, some kind of a meeting or whatever. Meeting. Did you hear that? Meeting, event. People must get to events. And I saw a bigger picture. And Nancy Tejan, who had recruited me, came up to me and she said, oh, I remember you. How are you doing? And I said, oh, Nancy. She said, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. Now, I don't know if she believed it or not, but she put that belief in my heart. And I decided I was going to become a director. I had a lot of obstacles in between that time and directorship, just so you know. It wasn't easy for me. We had terrible storms. We had, you name it, it doesn't matter. It's all garbage, but we all have garbage. But what I had was belief that it could happen, and miracles presented themselves. I learned to expect a miracle and not to hope for one. My first miracle was Helen Whitty, who saved us in our first month of DIQ. I've had many miracles, and I've learned to expect them if you're willing to work and if you believe. So I became a director, and I started to be a manager. And I remember promising, Gary, and we had worked hard. And I said, oh, when I'm a director, we're going to make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. And then I had to learn the lesson of be a Pied Piper and not a manager. Lead them while you're running. And I went back, and I remember my first month we made production. My second month we missed production because I was learning. And it's okay to learn. You know, you're going to have failures that are going to teach you things that are really important. And then when I finally went to a conference, again, an event, I came home and I thought, you know what? This is your unit. This is not anyone, your name's on it. And I went back, and that was in like end of summer. And my next check was $4,000. And the next check was $8,000. And basically, after my third full year as a director, I earned $50,000. Now, you guys have to remember, this is 1979. Whoa. Now, with that said, there were so many naysayers in my life. Oh, first of all, no one had heard of Mary Kay. And then, do you really think you can do this? Do you trust that company? I've heard of many companies, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, get out of my face. I do believe. And I went into a recruiting mode like you would not believe. And that's when I started, recruiting. My goal was 5 recruits a month. And okay, so I'm going to tell you a secret here. Tracy, you're going to kill me. I never even looked at an accomplishment sheet. I knew what people were doing. I really didn't care. All I cared about, you guys think this is bad. Are you building a foundation of sales to support your future? And are you sharing the opportunity? Because the whole business, if you want to move up, is about sharing the opportunity. Not to be like, quote unquote, network marketing or blah, 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 but to help a woman build a business like you have. And I was so enrolled in that, so enrolled. And my first full year after becoming a director, we did $500,000. We were number 14 in the nation. And the next year, I was number 2 to Rena Tarbett, and we earned $100,000. Now, why? I didn't know anything. I didn't have any house. In fact, when I think about our Mary Kay, I never heard her talk about how to book or how to recruit. We all learn our scripts. It's part of our training. We learn our closing questions. It's all part of our training. But what drives us is our why. It's the spirit. It's the belief. It's not the stuff. What I observe today, now granted, I've been retired for 5 years. Oh my gosh. Too much time is spent on how. And all these, ideas and stuff like that. You guys, if you're just passionate about what you do, you don't need all these hows. You know how to open your mouth. No one taught me how to open my mouth. I just taught myself. And then setting goals. Now, there were people that didn't believe in me. I'm just saying. And there were people who chuckled because I was peddling cosmetics. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's happened to you. Maybe it has happened to me. And I really didn't care because I knew what I wanted to do. And I had to prove not to anyone else, but to myself that I could do it. And it's funny, today I'm reconnecting with so many of my high school friends. Oh my gosh. And you should see the messages I get. Oh, we're so proud of you. What a career you've had. And yet at my high school graduation, I turned around to my friends and said, I'm getting married next weekend. Very few have accomplished what I have. So it really doesn't matter where you're coming from. What matters is what you believe, and fight for that belief. I fought for it. And I always had a dream of being a national sales director. Long story short, you don't need to know, but there were times in our marketing plan that it wasn't a possibility. And financially, at one time I would have lost like $80,000 a year just because of yada yada, it doesn't matter. So when they changed it, they called me and they said, Judy, we want you to know you're qualified to be a national. I never went through any um, training or qualification. I just did what I knew to do, and that is build people. And I will tell you this, I was never on the National Court of Sales. And I know that's maybe an embarrassment, but guess why? I was on the National Court of Sharing over and over. I believed in sharing this career. Wow. So fast forward, becoming a national and going through all the challenges. Oh, the number one director. Oh, that's a trip to Hollywood because you're the one everyone wants to beat. And you really have to be firm in your self-esteem. I'm telling you that right now. But all the things that I learned prepared me for today. So I became a national. I loved being a national. And now, and through that journey, oh, you guys, I had challenges. You don't even want to know them. You don't know them. And you never will. And they might have stopped a lot of people. But they wouldn't stop me because I was grounded in my belief. Even though it would waver, I was grounded. And then I became emeritus. And through those years, I had some health issues. I lost my husband of 42 years. I mean, man, you guys, life is tough, but it's great if you don't weaken. Learned that from my dear friend Kaylee Castagna's mother. And when I became an emeritus, it's funny. Of all the speeches I've ever given, they completely screwed it up. Oh, it was the worst I've ever given because the video wasn't working, blah, blah, blah. It was like, are you kidding me? Okay. But when I retired, emeritus, whatever you want to say, I didn't know what would be ahead. Should I be doing something? Should I not be doing something? And what I did is just step back, and I don't need to do anything. Let me give you an example. My granddaughter graduated, and they had a big party for her. And her brother, who was 16, brought a bunch of his friends. It was a huge party in their backyard, and it was really hot. So we went in the house, and we were talking, and there were 3 girls, 16-year-old girls. And I just said, okay, girls, tell me about your life. How's your love life? And they started talking about boys. And I would talk about self-esteem and self-confidence. And at the end of about an hour, one of the girls said, I think you need a Grandma Judie show for teenage girls to learn about self-esteem and self-confidence. And I thought to myself, what did this journey prepare me for? And today I find myself in many situations where I can empower women, all ages. Oh my goodness. I was just with a 93-year-old woman up at the cottage, honestly. And I videoed her and asked her questions. And her daughter was in tears because I asked her things that nobody else did. And I'm making a video for her, but it was like, really, everywhere I go today, and I'm not quote unquote working, I'm not quote unquote looking for a career. I'm not. I'm just living, and I'm loving. I love it. And everywhere I go, there are people who need. And I'm going to give you another example. I posted on Facebook one night. I was really feeling blessed because as emeritus, I'm still making money. And I put on Facebook to my friends, I'm feeling so blessed and I have money to give. Who do you know personally who could use a boost? I heard from one person Maria Montoya. And she gave me the name of one of her customers, and I could send her some money. Do you know that I never heard from anyone else? And I thought to myself, are we so self-absorbed that we don't look around us? Is that why we don't recruit? Because we don't look in other people's hearts and in their dreams and in their goals? You guys, take all the cars, all the diamonds, all the stuff away. Today, I don't wear them that much. My fur coats hanging in the closet, they were from a very different life. But man alive, the lessons that I got from Mary Kay have taken me forward in so many ways. So don't get stuck in how to do anything. Just do it. See the people, see the people, see the people. Put this product on their face. Don't let a month go by where you have not virtually or whatever introduced 20 people to this product. Just don't do it. There's too many blessings that come from this career. And you are so blessed to have Tracy as your director. Her heritage is strong and it's pure. Her national, Carol Stoops. How much better could you get than that? From me, I learned from the woman, Mary Kay. And interesting, I have to tell you, I was tough. I think I was tough. I was. But I never asked more of my people than I would ask of myself. And I had a director who'd kind of fallen away, and she called me recently and she said, thanks for being so tough on me because you had such great expectations. And when you sell to your director, to your whatever, anything but excellence, what you're going to get is anything but an excellence expectation. Mary Kay was tough. Oh, she would never settle. And I thank God for her every day that she never settled. She's my hero. She's my hero. Any question? Why? I'm not on the screen anymore. Is that okay? It's fine. Any questions or comments or anything I can share?
Judy, you're on. We see you. We see you on the
Okay,
screen.
good.
Okay,
Like my
now-
glasses?
Yeah, I love it. Yes. I'm so sorry for your allergy. Listen, I can have that allergy, so I can relate. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. No. Eczema on the top. I mean, now I'm on steroids. You know what? What the heck? And I'm still cute.
Yeah. You know, last week, I'll tell you this, we did a virtual sharing event, and I was supposed to go live for 20 minutes, and it was just running down my face. And I texted a couple of the girls. I said, please pray for me. So nobody knew this, but I had my powder and my brush right here to keep tapping my nose because I didn't want to look like Rudolph. And then, you know, you get through it, and then I just died the rest of the day. So thank you for, I know you don't.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so let's ask questions, guys. I mean, you are she's been trained under Mary Kay. So I want to give the two newbies who have never been around Judie a chance to ask a question. So Rana's Zoom is acting up like yours is, so she might have to type it out. But Rana, do you have a question? I'm putting you on the spot. I think she's already frozen. She might have to type it out. Okay, we'll go with Carrie since Rana's frozen.
Well, I haven't thought of anything specific, but I'm not sure even like where you're from, where you started your business, where you live now.
Oh my gosh. Great question. I'm from outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was 26, and I had a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old child. And what was so fun is at first, you know, like we got ribbons. I don't know if you get ribbons anymore, but we did. And I thought, Mary, you know, peddling cosmetics, is that important? So I'd come home with a ribbon and I'd put it on the refrigerator And my little 5-year-old Keith would go, Mom, you won, you won. I go, I guess I did. And then the next week he'd go, you won again. Fast forward to 28 years old. And he took me on a business trip that he had earned to New York City from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals at the Palace Hotel in New York with a shopping spree of $5,000. They opened Bloomingdale's early. I mean, honestly, it was unbelievable. And I said to him, I said, oh, Keith, you know what? I'm so proud of you. But sometimes I felt so bad because I couldn't get to every conference or Monday nights or whatever. He said, Mom, you were my hero. I watched you, Mom. Guess what? He works from home. And he is in marketing for cancer research. And his clients are like Rush Presbyterian in Chicago, Mayo Clinic, blah, blah, blah. And he works from home. And he learned about discipline. He learned about goals. He won the trips. What's caught is so much more important than what's taught. And my 16-year-old granddaughter, Ella, I hate to say it, God bless her, is a mini Judie. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She really is. She's out there. She's always pushing the limit. That's just who she is. She wants to be a national sales director. How can you explain these things? They lived it.
They saw it.
So that was my life. Little kids, babysitters, getting dinner ready before the party.
Yeah.
Calling customers from the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a couple of questions from Rihanna. So I just read my first Mary Kay book. What was she really like? What is the one particular thing she said to you or that she did that really affected you and your trajectory in Mary Kay? And then I've got a couple of more questions for you.
She would never settle. She would never settle. I was the #1 director. I broke company records. And she said, and it was a big deal. And she said, so what are you going to do next year? And I wanted to punch her. It's like when Tracy tells you, well, you had this great party. Now, what's your next party going to be? And you're like, what do you expect? Are you kidding me, Tracy? But she believed. She had belief in me. And she spread it. She was magical that way to build confidence in you. She was tough, but she was soft. She was an iron fist in a velvet glove. So as much as she could have tremendous expectations, when I was in the hospital for a week one time, when I was 43, she called me and she said, dear, just remember, Mary Kay will be here forever. You take care of yourself now. What can I say?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, yeah. Do you think that recruiting is different today than even 10 years ago? If so, what do you think the differences are and how do we address the change of times?
I think women are the same. They want more. I think it's easier now, to be honest, because look at the world. Women are not working in their traditional job situations. But today, with all the technology and the virtual, oh my goodness, I think there are more opportunities. With that said, we still need to maintain the connectivity, the relationships, because you don't build a person online. You build a woman heart to heart. That is more difficult. Look, everybody's looking for the second option. If you're not doing it, someone else is. And, and some of no question. I give referrals all the time. You guys, I'm recruiting, I'm selling product all the time. I can't do it really, but I give my daughter, I give my, people referrals. You got to talk to her about Mary Kay. I was just at the doctor's office a week ago, And this woman and I were talking, she was a PA, and she's, went to Christie for some lip gloss. Well, that's the opening to more and more and more and more. I just love this company. And I love this company more as an emeritus than I did as a national sales director. I value what this company has done more than I ever did. I took so much for granted, and so do you. Here's what you think. You think how you're with this amazing company, and well, my question is, what are you doing to keep it so amazing? Are you being amazing? I want to be amazing, even as an emeritus, to keep Mary Kay the best company in the world. That's my heart.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Okay, anybody else have a question? What have you heard today? What inspired you, or do you have a question, or what have you heard?
I have a question.
Yes.
What, Judy, what do you say to someone who, and this was me a lot, Tracy has worked a lot with me on that, but to someone that, because I heard you say you could not care less about what other people think, but what do you say to someone that really struggles with that and just, I guess, has a lack of self-esteem? How did you build those women?
I think it's an inside job. You can't build them. They have to build themselves. You have to constantly expose them to opportunities. And that's why I think meetings, events, well, now the events are virtual. I get it. Gosh, I hate that. But, they have to, okay, a book club, have a book club that you and your team, your people will read a book and then report on it like a regular book club. But it's an inside job. Motivation doesn't come outside in, it comes inside out. But when you are exposed to women of power, and when you're exposed to a different mindset, great things can happen. I remember Mary Kay took my unit. Okay, you're going to just not believe this. The Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee is the finest hotel, one of the best in the country. Okay. And she came into Milwaukee to take my unit to dinner at the Pfister Hotel. You can't even imagine. Number one, not the cost, but oh my gosh. So she and her husband, Mel was still alive at that time. If you read her book, you know about Mel. And we had breakfast. And I said, Mary Kay, oh, there are so many women. I just think it would be so great. And they just don't get it. And she said, Judy, if they'd be so good, they'd be so good. Then she came, I had a sales meeting, and she spoke. She spoke, and not everyone recruited. Are you kidding me? The woman, Mary Kay, it's an inside job. Not everyone is right for this company. And you got to kiss some frogs. You do. But when you keep doing it over and over, people will fail you, but numbers never will. Mm-hmm. And you will find those women. Oh, I can't tell you the no's I've had. But it's not about me. It's about them. So it's okay. The more no's, the more yeses. And keep it simple. Oh, you guys, keep it so simple. Share the product, share the opportunity, see the people. That's really all it's about.
Oh, Judy, I just love it. I've needed, I've really missed our Mary Kay events, because you're right. Going to those events, it just fills you up with that dream and the possibilities. And it is a choice, especially in this season. And when you were being raised up in the company, to to believe in it, to cling to it,
Mhm.
even when
Mhm.
you're not exposed to it. And how the company has maneuvered during COVID is just incredible. And
Oh, they're
um,
doing so great.
yeah,
So great.
they really are. And I just appreciate you, because when my first year as a director, I was exposed to you, you know, and Bonnie's on, and just that.
Oh, hi, Bon.
Yeah, she's muted. I think she's driving to a wedding. Just the exposure of greatness. You're right. And the caliber and being exposed to the Carols and the Judies and in that environment. And we all have it in us. It's the choice. I love what you said. We can't build it. It's an inside job. But Mary Kay gives us a platform to build it when we want to. And
I
you've
would like to
always
share
had-
something.
yeah, you've always demanded, and you've always been there. I remember calling you coming home from DIT and asking you, and you laid it out straight, but I appreciated that.
I'm
You
straight.
were very direct. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I don't miss words. And some people might not like that, but hey, take it for what it is. I would never ask you to do anything I didn't. Okay, but let me tell you, this is retreat time. So Fred and I are going up to the cottage. We're going to spend Christmas up there. So we're going to decorate the Christmas tree at the cottage so that when it's Christmas, we just open the door and there it is. Okay, so I'm thinking about the more. I'm thinking about
Tell them what the
events.
more is. Tell them what
The
more.
more was our retreat,
Our fall retreat.
our fall retreat. Now, when great becomes good, you got a problem. So here's what I heard from people sometimes throughout the years. Oh, I can't afford to go to seminar this year. I'll go next year. Now there's no seminar. Well, I really can't get away to go to the retreat. Maybe next year. There is no retreat. Never assume. Never assume. If there is a meeting, an event, anything, go, because it may not be there forever. I pray that there's a seminar this summer, but there might not be. Do we know? I missed a cruise in May. Poor me. And now this May, we're supposed to go to Budapest, and then Fred and I are going to Germany for a reunion, and then I'm taking him around Poland. I hope. And here's another thing, okay, please bear with me. I'm 70 years old. And the clock is ticking. Your clock is ticking too. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Do you want to wake up at 50 or at 70 and wish that you had? Man, you guys, I am living it up. Oh my, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Because when it's over, it's going to be a celebration and not a pity party. And your career goes like that. Don't wait. One day you wake up and you think, well, why didn't I become a national sales director? Why didn't I become a director? What was I thinking? Instead of going to lunch, I could have been doing an interview. So I did not give up. I made choices. Today, I have a lot of fun time. And I earned it. And I'm paid for it. Don't make that mistake that so many people do. Put your priorities right. Get the job done. I can't believe how many people are missing star consultant status. I'm blown away. $300 a week? What's happened to us? Really? I mean, what have our expectations? Oh, if Mary Kay were here, I can't imagine. I think we have lowered ourselves to a lifestyle of average and not exceptional. And that's why you need to stay with the Mary Kay women who are exceptional.
That's incredible. And I've quoted you a lot on this. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And it's
Amen.
supposed to be hard to earn how many millions of dollars to earn
Yeah.
$9 million in commissions. It's supposed to be hard.
You know what though? People have said to me, well, I would do Mary Kay if I could come in at your position. And I'm
Well,
like, honey, you couldn't hold my bra strap. I mean, what do you know? You know nothing. I mean, really, you've got to earn it. You've got to earn it. You've got to learn it. You've got to grow into it. I'm so glad I did. I can't even tell you. I mean, well, you could ask Fred. He knows. Every time I get a box from the company of new products or whatever, I just have tears. Or Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. I'm like, this is not the norm in today's world, you guys. People are struggling to hang on to a job. In your only struggle, quote unquote, not struggle, your dream, your goal is to excel. Oh, most people would do anything for that.
I love it. Does anybody else have anything else? Want to share a thought that meant something to you? A question?
I do.
Okay.
I just want to say, Judy, I have taken a little bit of a different route. I'm not fully in Mary Kay, but I came to Retreat because I love being with Tracy and Franny and everybody else. But I wanted to say it was so great to hear from you again. It really has hit me for just my personal life of things that I need. And I enjoy you so much and always have. So thank you for being in Mary Kay.
I feel very blessed by you right now. Thank you. Thank you. I might even take my sunglasses off, but maybe not.
Teresa?
I want to say, yeah, I want to say just one quick thing. Thank you, Judy, so much for being with us today, because I have also missed you and I have so enjoyed just being refreshed by what you said today. But I do want to tell the other girls that those of us that have known you, what you said today, you have said all along since I've been in Mary Kay about the belief in yourself and in others. And so it just goes to show everyone, or I mean, it just, to me especially, you're just the same today as you were when when we were together earlier. So thank you for being the same.
Thank you. But you
Better,
know what?
but the same.
Here's the deal. Nothing changes. You know what? And people today are looking for the newest idea, the newest shiro to follow, the newest what. You guys, Mary Kay never taught how to book. That was in the consultant's guide. She taught why to book. She taught about your dreams. She taught about your future. And don't complicate this business at all. It's so simple and it's so much fun. Thank you so much for that comment. Thanks.
Yeah, Trace or Judy, it's never changed. I'm one of those that have heard you from many years before, and you got to me again. You always do, because you just shoot it straight to us. You know, you don't sugarcoat it. This is how it is. Book, sell, recruit. You have to meet the people. You have to be with the people and care about the people really more than you're caring about the product or what you're going to take home from that meeting. And I just appreciate you so much.
Thank you. You know, the product is temporary. Anybody, my granddaughters can sell the product. But going into a woman's soul is a whole different level of relationship. And, you know, it's intangible. The product is tangible, but believing in people is intangible. And that's where success comes. So you can make hundreds or thousands or millions, and it depends on the level of relationships. Thanks.
Yeah, Rana is typing. She said, as a new consultant, this has been so inspirational and sows many seeds of Mary Kay. And Judy, I was getting emotional reading your accolades because, I mean, it's changed my life. It completely changed the trajectory of my life. I don't even want to look back and say, who would I have been And it's women like you being available and never, just never lowering your standards. And but at the same time, you know, when I've been through life, you've been right there for me too.
Thank you.
And so that's what I love. And I just love your heart. That I just feel full. We've just missed this, you know, just as a nation, we can't do it. And, you know, years ago when you and Carol retired and you've seen so many people fall away. And I just had to say to myself, is this something I believe in, or was I believing in a person? And it's just, I think it's critical. I love that in quote. If you think Mary Kay is so amazing, what are you doing to keep it amazing? So that is going to stick with me.
Thank you.
I know your time is precious. You don't feel
Hey,
good.
we're going for dinner to the Capitol Grill.
Okay. We'll be there.
I will.
We'll be there. I gave everybody cookies last night via Zoom. They really enjoyed it.
I love you, Tracy Weimer. I look at your success and it makes my heart sing. You're so great.
Well, you're a huge, huge, huge part of that. So
thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, you get better. Everybody,
I am.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Judy.
Yay! We're standing. We're standing for you.
Woohoo!
National Emeritus. Yeah, I know she's trying to find the in button, and it's hard to find, isn't it?
Yeah,
There you go. Oh, she's gone. Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Now you see why I'm always saying, come to the events, because you get that over and over, and you know, just like with customers and people in our lives, some people influence you more. Sometimes you'll hear a national, you go, but we're from a legacy of that, and that's the majority of Mary Kay, and that is what's passed down. And you know, I love Judie because she's the iron fist of Mary Kay, and Carol was more the velvet glove of Mary Kay. And so Selena's shaking her head. We are from the best of both worlds. And so tell me something that you're going to take away from this. Tell me something that she said that you just kind of went, like I did, like, oh, if I really think it's that amazing, what am I doing to keep it amazing? So share your thoughts.
Well, what really got me was when she talked about, you know, she was 70 years old and she was saying, you know, well, you know, you're going to be 50.
I thought, I am.
Are you going to look back, you know, and, you know, you're going to be, you know, whatever, 60. And it just hit me like, I've been in this business 18 years. What have I done with it? It just was like cold water in the bucket hitting my face. So that's what she's given me, something to think about and all. So, but it's just, you know, and hearing her say it's the same things that she's always said in the past and thinking about it today, nothing has changed. It's still seeing the people, sharing the product and sharing this business. And, you know, we make it so complicated at times. I do. And it's that simple. It's that simple. It's not the latest and greatest thing to do or whatever. You know, it's like now the people that have embraced this virtual world we're in and gotten out there, you know, Trina trying it, and those that have actually gotten out there and pushed themselves to get out there and do it, they're doing it. That's the way to connect for right now. And but it hasn't changed. It's just seeing the people and caring about the people.
I love that. And Becky, I think we have to be really careful, all of us, especially those who have been in more than a year, that we don't beat ourselves up for what's been passed. You can't look in the past, it doesn't do any good. But applauding you and us that we are still here with all the changes. You know, there's a lot that have chosen not to continue, but you're still here at whatever level that is. And, you know, I don't have Carrie's glasses to put on, but we're going to see this through new glasses and a new look and a new image. And we have a fresh start. We really do. We have a very strong fresh start. Our world has been expanded. Even though it's harder in some ways, but our world has been expanded virtually and people are wrapping their heads around it rather than, why would I meet with you? I live in Oregon. It's just like, oh yeah, I'll meet with you. You know, ship it. I mean, they're used to packages. They're used to virtual. They're, you know, we're used to it. So, you know, just, we have a new way. Okay. Oh, a reboot. A reboot. Yes. I was like, I need a reboot. Rana said a reboot, so to speak. Absolutely. Anybody else?
I really enjoyed, and going off what Becky said, where she said, when she passes on, it's going to be a celebration and not a pity party, and that made me think. I've been going through therapy for other things, but that actually resonated. And I don't go out and do things that I want to do. I don't live my life, and if I died tomorrow, it'd be a pity party, not a celebration. And I don't want that. So, yeah, that's what Judie McCoy will do to you.
Wow. Wow, Selena, that's powerful. That's powerful. Anybody else? I see Teresa's unmuted.
Okay, so hopefully I can put this all together because there were a couple of things that I want to kind of connect. But she said in there to expect a miracle and not to just hope for one, and that if you're willing to work and believe in them, or that you need to be willing to work and believe in them. But then she came back later and said, that to be grounded, even though you do waver, and I know that we all waver in different things, but I think, I like the grounded part because we are going to waver. There's going to be things that are going to come up that we're not going to.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
And I circled that. Thank you for bringing that up because I circled that because we talked about being grounded last night. And I thought, isn't that interesting, the theme? Because Judie kept saying, what do you want me to talk about? I said, just talk, just show your heart. And that grounded was last night and the grounded is today. And, take off our shoes and be grounded. And I love that. I love that.
It's too funny. I circled that too. And then the next line is, life is tough, but it's great if you don't weaken.
Oh, that's good. I missed that one.
I did too.
And I like that she is tough. And she does say that motivation comes from within, but it takes exposure. But I think that motivation does come from within and what the Lord puts in us to keep going. And to how she said, Mary Kay never settled. So I think that's important to remember, because when great becomes good, we have a problem. And so keep at it, keep going, keep trying. Like you said, you can't go back and worry about what you did in the past, but today forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Rana, I liked your little comment, grounded as a tree. Our roots are deep. Our roots are deep. That's who we are. Trina, do you want to? Go ahead, Becky.
I was just going to say that really is so true because, and today it magnified it that, we're part of Tracy's unit, but then we're part of Carol's, and then we're part of Judie's. And that family tree is just amazing that we have. And it's a tree of excellence. I mean, that's all that was accepted, and expected from everyone was excellence in those national areas and in those units. So I guess that's what we need also for this unit and national area we're building is excellence.
Absolutely. 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 And I'm so proud of who we are. I mean, I know, maybe we haven't reached our potential. We won't until we see Jesus face to face, but we do things with integrity and we do things with the right heart and we do things, we don't take away other customers and we don't do illegal things. I mean, I love who we are, that we're integrity. That's always grounded me to Carol and Judie. And anyway, I applaud you all because that's who you are. I trust how you're presenting Mary Kay. I don't ever question that. So thank you.
And I might even be in the Diamond Club if I don't have to do that trekking like she
That's
said.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
she
you're gonna
actually
kill
said that she never looked at the sheets of anyone else.
Well,
Not that they
Tracy
didn't
asked
fit
what
in.
I heard. Because there have been times where I have actually met it, but I haven't had the time and the choice to get in there and send it in to her.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to stop recording till we can upload this.